Hi guys, trust you're doing great. All right, so today we're just going to do a quick look into your Tag Manager. Now, Google Tag Manager obviously is a product by Google, and it's a very good product to help us to manage a lot of scripts and tags that we use on our websites. So if you're a digital marketer and then you had to, at some point, install tags on your website, pixels on your websites and the likes. So you would need this, even as a website developer as well. This helps you a lot to manage scripts, on your website and not just populate everything all on your website at a time. So you can actually use this to do a lot of things, quite a number of things that I'm going to be sharing with us as we move on. So let's get into what tags basically are. So now, tags are also known as pixels or snippets. They are basically a little piece of JavaScript code, right, that lives within your website. Many of the times we use pixels. For instance, virtually every digital marketer today should understand what a pixel basically is. So it helps you to track specific actions on your website. It helps you to know when someone does something or when they click on something. And these are based on the events that you have already set. And these pixels, you use it not just on Facebook. We also have pixels across different social media platforms. So you have on Google, you have for LinkedIn, you have for Twitter, you have for Snapchat and the likes. So you would have to be using all of these scripts at one point or the other in your journey as a digital marketer, which means you have to install all of these things on your website. So beyond that, even if you use some analytics tools, Google Analytics, or you want to have like heat map tools, basically to just understand website performance and what is happening on the website, you will need tools like Hotjar and the likes, Crazy Egg, which will require you to still implement short snippets of code within your site. Now, having to do all of these codes on your site directly, it's a lot and could actually affect or break your site. And so, to do all of this, we have the Google Tag Manager, which actually helps us to manage all of this action in its very user-friendly environment. So that is why a Google Tag Manager basically is a user-friendly solution for tag management. So it basically helps us to efficiently add and also update our website tags, right? So without the need for web development experience. So this tag manager makes it easy to manage your tags and also to add your tags. Because normally without a tool like this, you probably would have to hand code those tags on your website, which means you might need to go to the backend, go to the HTML files, and begin to add those codes. So which means you also need to know where exactly to add those codes and all of that. So, but if you don't have a web development experience, you can still use a Google Tag Manager to effectively integrate your codes within your website, right? So it makes it easy for us to manage different tags, right, in a very single user interface. And again, it's just important to know that this tool is actually free. It's a free tool to work with. All right, that said, so let's also look at what is called the global site tag. Now, one of the most basic way to tag or to add tags for analytics, right, is to manually deploy a global site tag on your website. Now, but a global site tag is a short snippet of code as well. But however, if you are going to be using this, it's important to know the following things. That oftentimes people who use global site tag are either a web developer and they prefer hand coding their tags directly on their website instead of deploying them through an interface, right? So which means you are good with playing with codes, you like to do all of that, then fine, you go ahead to use the global site tag. Or maybe you don't have time or resources to invest in a tag management system. Then you can use a global site tag, or maybe you plan to just implement a few tags, right? Maybe from what you think, or I don't need more than two tags or more than one tag on my website, then that's fine. You can go ahead to use a global site tag. But in reality, we know that as your work progresses, you will have a need for multiple tags to be installed or implemented on your website. Hence the need for a Google Tag Manager. So let's look at the difference between Google Tag Manager and the Global Site Tag. So the Google Tag Manager and Global Site Tag, they both work across with all Google tags. So any kind of Google tags that you're using, if you're using Global Site Tag, that works. Tag Manager also works for that. But if you are implementing a non-Google tags, then your Global Site Tag will not work for you. You mostly need your Google Tag Manager to do that for you. So Google Tag Manager basically helps you to not just implement Google tags or Google related tags, but even non-Google tags. So also Google Tag Manager also helps it easy for you to manage an interface, which you can't do with a Global Site Tag, because if you don't have a coding experience, a development experience, you will not be able to manage your tags um, on Global Site Tag. But with Tag Manager, you can do that by yourself, which is the same thing as the last point. Global Site Tag basically lets you manage your tags by coding JavaScript directly on your website, right? Which you can do for a Google Tag Manager. But in all, I would say Google Tag Manager makes it easy to work with different tags, and makes it easy for you to implement different tags as well. All right. So other ways to tag. Now, if you created your website using a content management system, for example, Wix, WordPress, or Squarespace, then you will still need to do some tagging for analytics and others. So, but the process usually varies depending on the kind of CMS. So, like for WordPress, for example, they have plugins that enables you to basically add analytics tags to your website or any kind of tags, right? But if you're using a tag management system, right, or that is not Google Tag Manager, because there are also other ones, then you probably need to find out how to implement those tags using that particular tag management system. So it's very important to know that there are other ways you can tag beyond using Google Tag Manager. All right, so with this, I'm sure you are able to understand, have a very clear understanding of what Google Tag Manager is. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to actually go ahead to implement Tag Manager, say for example, for analytics. I'll also give you probably examples on other scripts, other tags that you can implement using Tag Manager, and how you can actually trigger them on the pages where they are needed, because one of the things that affects website performance is when all your tags, all your scripts are firing all at the same time, even on pages that they are not needed. But with Google Tag Manager, you can actually fire tags at the point they are needed alone, and that actually helps you to better optimize your website for performance and also get the job done for you. So the script still performs what it's supposed to perform, but at the same time, it's not affecting performance of the website. So I'm sure you do enjoy this. So thank you very much. See you next time. Yeah, bye.